Decide to succeed. Are you tired of overthinking every decision and watching opportunities slip away? What if I told you that the key to success lies in one simple step, taking action? Today, we'll dive into why being decisive changes everything and how you can start making bold moves right now. Hello and welcome to Unlock You, Inspired Entrepreneur podcast, where we explore the tools and mindset shifts to unlock your full potential. I'm Greg, and like many of you, I've struggled with indecision. I used to overanalyze every step, afraid of making the wrong choice. I wanted everything to be perfect. And you know what? That kept me stuck for a long time. But I remember the moment it all changed. I faced a critical decision in my business, whether to stick with what was comfortable or take a big, scary leap. And spoiler alert, I took the leap, and it was one of those best decisions I've ever made. Today we'll talk about why decisiveness is so powerful and how you can cultivate in your life. Let's talk about what indecision cost us. Have you ever been paralyzed by too many choices? Or have you spent hours debating whether to take a step only to see the opportunity vanish? I did it recently. Indecision doesn't just waste time. It erodes your confidence and creates stress. If you've been in that situation, give us a thumbs up. I know you have. Be true to yourself. We all been there. It's like standing at the edge of a diving board, hesitating while everyone else jumps in. Well, I've actually been exactly in that decision as well. Everyone else jumped in, but I was like, what's going to happen if I hit the water, if I over jump? Oh, God, telling you. But I share a personal story. And there was a time when I hesitated on an investment opportunity because I wanted to analyze every detail. By the time I made up my mind, the opportunity was gone. There was another buyer who came in, offered on the property. His circumstance, although I was accepted, his circumstances were much better aligned. He knew what he wanted. He made a decision already, and he knew he's going for it. And he took it right from under my nose. And what hurt wasn't just missing out on the investment. It was knowing I let the fear and overthinking win. So there's the truth. Indecision is a thief. It steals progress, momentum, and sometimes even your dreams. On this occasion, all of my friends, about a year and a half ago, from that point where we decided about that property, each one of my close friends in the investment circle, they were cracking on amazing deals in terms of the property investments. No money left in a deal, infinite ROI. That means that the money you've put into your investment, on the other end, you're able to recoup all of that money and more. And that's the infinite return on your investment. On those particular deals, just coming out from the first year, I would be doing 30, 29, and 35%. It was two different properties. And I'm like, no, it's not perfect. It's not like these other properties. But I didn't knew what I know now. This was a really good deal. And now I know, just bring me those deals and I'll be like, thank you. I'll go for it. But being perfect is not what I'm aiming for now. It's and hold on to it. So, decisiveness, it's the foundation of growth. When you make a decision, you create a momentum. Even if the decision isn't perfect, you're moving forward. And forward is always better than standing still. It's about doing rather than being stuck on how to make this absolute perfect because someone else did it, like in my case. Trust me, that's not what you want to do. Imagine you're on a road trip without a GPS. If you don't pick a route, you will just sit there. But if you choose a direction, even if it's wrong, you can adjust, recalibrate, and still make a progress. The same applies to life and business. So using that analogy, even if you go and you've got your sat-nav set and you take the wrong turn, the sat-nav automatically recalibrates the best route from that point to get you to your destination. So if you've already decided what you're going to do, even if you don't know which route you're going to take, but you know what's the desired outcome, even if it's a wrong decision, you can recalibrate because you know what is the desired outcome. Here is something I've learned. Every decision you make builds confidence. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Decisiveness isn't about always being right. It's about trusting yourself to handle whatever comes next. And that's what you should think about. Do not try to imagine the whole journey getting you to that desired outcome. Just decide about what it is that you want. Don't worry about the journey that will take you there, because the journey, you cannot plan for the journey. So many things are coming that are unexpected, so many urgent, so many important things. Remember that urgent is not important and important is not urgent. Some things might be urgent and important and they will need your immediate action. But remember about the desired outcome, the decision that you've made. Let's talk about the science of decision making. Why is decision making so hard? It's partly because we have too many options. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. The more choices we have, the harder it is to decide. When you go to a really good restaurant, you're only seeing 3-4 dishes. Well, actually, if you go to a super posh restaurant, they will tell you what you're gonna have tonight. It's not like you're gonna choose maybe a choice between meat or fish or anything else, but really they are telling you what you're having because they've already made that decision for you. The paradox of choice. The more choices you have, the harder it is to decide. There is a decision fatigue. By the end of the day, we are so drained from making decisions that we can't think clearly. Can you think about the situation last situation you've been experiencing just exactly that? So how do we simplify this? Here is what works for me. So 1, set a deadline. Just give yourself a time frame, whether it is 5 minutes or 5 days to decide. But this is it. Pen, paper, write down, and that works. And I am not a pen and paper guy. Like, oh my God, you may see some notes, but I'm not pen and paper guy. I'm a computer. I will use the app, but pen and paper, there's something magical with it. So many studies that if you write it down, it actually gonna happen. And in my high net worth training that I'm going to every month, they gave us this executive diary, which we are making notes. And these are our goals. And that's where I have to decide at least once a week about my week going ahead. And oh my God, how that's changing your mind and everything else that you do. But that's what it is. Number 1 is set a deadline. Doesn't matter what the time frame is, put it down and stick to it. Number 2, use the 80-20 rule. Focus on the choices that will have the biggest impact. 20% of action will give you an 80% of the result, not the other way around. You don't want to work 80% for 20% of the outcome. Focus only on the important that will take you forward. Number 3, and that's a big one. Trust your gut. Intuition is your subconscious telling you what it already knows. You are where you are in your journey, in your life, in your business, in your career, in your relationship, in your family. It doesn't matter where you are right this moment, exactly like this moment, exactly. You know what you have to do and what's right for you. So listen, just tune into your gut. Your gut tells you, and you should follow this. I did my human design and I came as manifesting generator. I've been told that I have to rely on my gut feeling much more than on my numbers and data, because deep down there, I know exactly what's right. And that's what I've been doing for the last 6 months. It hasn't failed. Give it a go. These 3 simple choices, and you never know, it may change your life. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And progress is better than perfection, because as you're moving forward, you can always improve what you've done. But it's very difficult to try to improve as you are doing something, because it's hard. 1, you're doing something new. 2, you're trying to improve something that hasn't been yet done by you and your team. If you are going to be doing this once again with your team on your own, you will be then reviewing all of your previous choices and then changing, adapting to your decisions to improve it. So progress is better than perfection. Let's tackle the elephant in the room: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice. It can be paralyzing. But here's the thing: fear doesn't go away. You have to act despite it. I used to let fear control me, especially in the big decisions, even in the small decisions as well. But I started asking myself, what's the worst that could happen? Most of the time, the worst case scenario wasn't as bad as I imagined. Even when things didn't go as planned, I learned something valuable. One way to overcome fear is to start small. Take one decision today without overthinking it. This is where it happens. This is like a 5-second rule. Don't overthink it. Just count to 5, and if you do it, just do it. Just go out, do it, wake up, stand up, do your bed, whatever it is, just do it. Take one decision today without overthinking it. It could be as simple as committing to a new routine or saying yes to an opportunity. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Keep it simple, because we tend to overcomplicate it. This is never going to work. This is too simple. This is the moment where you are actually telling yourself not to do it because it's too simple. If it's so simple, give yourself a challenge and just go and do it. Because the simple actions will give you the success you need, and those just moving you forward. And that's what it is. So try today. Another game changer: commit to action. Once you decide, act immediately. Don't let doubt creep back in it. It's like planting a seed. Once it's in the ground, just let it grow. Just let it grow. Robbins' 5-second rule, very good book. If you haven't read it, I really recommend. This is a great book. It helped me because what I'm doing every day, it's a simple mind trick, but also a simple habit trick. I will make my bed. I may have talked about this before, but it's such a simple trick every day. If I don't make my bed now, and I leave the room, I get this like feeling I've not done it. It's wrong. It feels bad. It's like you've not brushed your teeth and you're about to walk out the house. That's how bad it feels now. It almost like if I don't do my bed, something bad's gonna happen to me. To the point like that. And this is your muscle. So decide, follow through, do it today. Give yourself a time. And if it is 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, whatever it is, just do it. So we've covered a lot today. The cost of indecision, the power of decisiveness, and practical ways to take action. Remember, every decision you make, it's a step forward. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just had to be yours. So here is my challenge to you. Pick one decision you've been putting off. Maybe it's a phone call you've been avoiding, a project you've been procrastinating on, or a goal you've been too scared to commit to. Make that decision today and take action. And I'd love to hear about it. Share your experience in the comments or message me on the social media. Let's celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Don't forget to subscribe for more insight and inspiration. Together we build momentum, one decision at a time.